Hello. My name is Daniel Lehnberg. I'm part of the Grin core team. And I'm not the organizer of the event, but the organizers asked me to speak a little bit briefly before we kick off. First of all, welcome everybody. It's amazing to see so many people here. A big round of applause to our sponsors, Bitonic 0301 Farm and Lemnis Cap for supporting Grin and this event. And a big round of applause to the organizers. I know they didn't really want to come on stage. They didn't really want to. I'm not going to name them, but the people who have been organizing have worked very hard for this event. They did this on their own behalf. They've been working on it for several months, very hard. A big round of applause for their effort and having us all here. It's an amazing venue, and it's really appreciated. Very cool. Some quick house rules. I've been told the restrooms are over there. If you go out to the left, and then you're supposed to take a left very quickly after that. There's like a small little door that you barely can see, but you're supposed to go there. Don't go through the exit over there. If you want to smoke or go out, take the exit over there. And I think that was the housekeeping rules. Smoking is outside, yes. So in August 2016, a text file was dropped via Tor link to an IRC chat, Bitcoin Wizards, anonymously, outlining a rough idea of a protocol called Mimblewimble. It was later iterated and improved on by the people in the IRC channel, notably Andrew Polstra. It was building on a lot of other previous ideas, but with unique insights that kind of combined it all to one and made it into a blockchain format. A few months later, and also I should say that the person who dropped this, we don't know anything about this person, but they called themselves Tom Elvis Jedusor, which is the French name for Lord Voldemort of the Harry Potter series. So a few months later, another Harry Potter character appeared and announced that they had started working on the first implementation of Mimblewimble. And that person was Ignotus Peverell, and he's the founder of Grin, and has been working hard on the project ever since, and has kind of been the main reason that the community grew the way it has and kind of took us to the place where we are today. And he's giving us a couple of welcome words from remote right now before we kick off.
Hello everyone and welcome to Grin Amsterdam. I'm Ignotus Peverell and I, along with many others, some of which you'll see today, have been working on Grin for a while. I apologize I can't be here in person, being a Harry Potter character has its inconvenience. So instead I get to sound like a mix of Optimus Prime and Wally. As far as I know, the Netherlands is the most fertile country in Grin contributors. I hope this event encourages you to double down on that trend, take a closer look if you haven't already, and find your own way to help. You will find plenty of guidance tonight as to how. The initial bit of hype on our launch a couple months ago is wearing off, and it's the perfect time to concentrate on fundamental work. As I've said before, Grin is aiming to be better money. It might not be obvious to everyone, but this is not exactly an easy goal. Our current money is degrading quickly in terms of access, privacy, and general freedom. Something needs to be done, and I know we can fix it. Cryptography is a very strong tool, providing guarantees that can seem close to magic. Grin leverages it in a unique and robust way which we believe make it particularly suited for that goal of better money. We still have quite a few tricks up our sleeves, some of which you may learn about tonight. So please, enjoy the evening, ask questions, get involved. We still have so much to do. Thank you. Hello everyone and welcome to Grin Amsterdam.
Does the clicker work now? So this is the picture of Ignotus. Now I'm going to kick off with a very quick intro about Grin and also a general update of what has happened since launch. It's a new presentation. We haven't really shared this in this type of forum before. Let me just ask you first, how many of you know something about Grin? Okay. You heard about cut-through? Okay. Okay. How many proof of works does Grin have? Is it raise your hand for 1? Raise your hand for 2? All right. Okay, there's some 34. 34. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give a very quick summary, a very high-level summary of Grin. You're not going to find all the details in this presentation. If you want to learn more about Grin, there's some resources in the end I'll share with you, and also online there's plenty of talks, and we've given more detailed introductions about the fundamentals of Mimblewimble and the protocol as well. So I recommend you guys to have a look about that. Give a quick update on development, governance, the work we've been doing with security, progress in the ecosystem, and how you can contribute and get involved. So as Ignotus mentioned, Grin wants to be better money. Grin aims to be privacy-preserving, scalable, and fair. And the implementation is, by design, very minimal and lightweight. It's the first implementation of Mimblewimble, which is a new type of blockchain design. It doesn't have any amounts, scripts, addresses on the protocol, on the blockchain itself. There's no opt-in privacy. It's privacy by default. Every user on the network is private. And it's a big difference from some of the other projects that are out there. Because there are no addresses on the chain, the sender and the receiver need to interact to build transactions together. So you need to do a round trip. The sender needs to send some information to the receiver, and the receiver sends some information back, and then that can be broadcasted to the chain. The project is completely developed by an open source community that relies on donations, and it's written in Rust. It's fairly launched and fairly mined. There's no ICO, no pre-mine, no dev tax, nothing like that. And it's all funded by the community and donations to support the project, and a lot of donated time and effort by development community. The emission rate of Grin is 1 Grin per second. So it's realized through 1-minute blocks, which rewards 60 Grins for each block. And this is permanent. It's very simple, and this is part of the ethos of the project. It wants to be simple, minimal, and elegant. In terms of what's been happening with development, I'm going to try to move in a way where you guys can see it. So basically, since the launch of Jan 15, where the baseline wallet, the node, and the miner was released, there's been 2 minor releases, patches. First one, mainly some kind of quality of life performance and mining performance that we noticed very early on was required. Version 1.2 was released and patched a critical vulnerability, which I'll mention and discuss later. And I think this week we're looking to release 1.0.3. And in about 2 weeks from now, there'll be a minor release which will include Windows support, a standalone wallet that is broken out of the node in its own repo, Dandelion++, which is an improvement of the existing Dandelion protocol. If you don't know what that means, it doesn't really matter, and webhooks. And there's ongoing research and development around supporting I2P, verifiable transactions, variable size Merkle mountain ranges. Every other Tuesday, there's a meeting on our Gitter channel where everybody's welcome to join. The next one is on April 2nd, 3 p.m. You're welcome. And I guess the key takeaway from here is that, basically it's just business as usual. The development, the release of Grin and Jan 15 was just a step on the way. And everything is going to just continue. We have a lot of work to do, and we're just ongoingly hacking away at that. In terms of governance, since the launch, there's been a decision on the firm to do a security audit, which we've hired, and their audit is underway. They give us an update today. We've added income and spending logs on the Grin project management repo that I'm quite heavily involved with. And these logs are basically tracking what income comes into this decentralized project, which doesn't have any foundation or any organization, any company or anything like that. So we just kind of keep track of the donations that are received in crypto in this repo, and also what we spend, which hasn't been much so far. We've only committed to spend to fund developers and to do the security audit so far, and to support the forum, I think, as well. We're looking to use that to produce a transparency report, which we'll be due in April. We're looking to do that every quarter now to kind of just show this was how much we got in, this is what we've been spending it on, and the reasons why. We've improved our Friends of Grin section to include now a Hall of Fame for like long-time continuous supporters that have been with the project for a long time and repeatedly are making donations to the project. And we funded Ignotus for 3 months. I think it was taking a decision just a few weeks ago. And a second anonymous developer, Igno's brother, Antioch, secured funding from an unnamed company that kindly has supported this developer to be able to work on the project full time. The governance meetings are happening the other Tuesday. So every Tuesday at 3 p.m. UTC, there's a meeting on Gitter. One time it's governance, and the other time it's development. And it just kind of switches like that. And you're welcome to join that as well. We just had the governance meeting earlier today. And I should say also that all these decisions and so on are taken in the public on these meetings. So far, by design, we want to basically be very transparent and allow anybody who wants to and cares enough to participate to have a chance to do that. In terms of security, so before launch, there was an audit of a crypto library that was provided by a notable security researcher. It was kindly donated to us from a supporter. And now we have the auditing firm CoinSpect working on audit of our crates with a final report due April 20th. As part of their audit, they discovered a critical vulnerability which we patched within 72 hours upon release. We got notified on a Friday, and then we basically had it fixed out on the Monday. And that was a new experience for us. It was the first time the team kind of worked through a critical security vulnerability like that. I think it went fairly all right. We released the fix and didn't announce it for a while and let the network upgrade to the point for some period of time before we finally disclosed it to the public. And I think all in all, it went all right, given how little noise there's been around that. We're still wanting to review and kind of figure out what went well, what could be improved for next time. On the forum, on our forum, grinforum.org, we are reviewing this disclosure and security processes that we have. You're all welcome to participate in that as well and give your thoughts and feedback on what a good way would be to handle that. One other kind of call out to make here as well is that Grin is less than 70 days old, the mainnet. So it's very, very experimental software. There's going to be lots of bugs, and you should use it at your own risk. And this is what we kind of try to say all the time. Ecosystem then. As you notice, I'm not going into the super technical stuff about what Grin is and so on. It's just to kind of give you an update of what's happening in the space. And if you're interested, you can find out more. There's been 5 more mining pools, I think, that are supporting Grin, probably much more. There's more to be announced. There are more than 5 different mining software providers kind of competing against each other to outperform each other. There's been more than 10 exchanges that have added Grin voluntarily so far. We don't really pursue exchange listings. We're not applying for exchanges. We don't have any. We can't sign any agreements. There's no organization. There's no CEO or anything like they usually ask for. Nobody's willing to do KYC for the exchange to be part of that application process, and we certainly don't pay any funds for being listed because we don't have any funds for that. And it's been working quite all right so far. The exchanges seem to be interested enough in the project to work that out themselves and have been able to list it. And I think over time we're just going to see this snowballing as kind of Grin becomes more stable and mature. There's been 3 plus ASICs announced. There were some details last week, I think, released by one of the manufacturers around their Grin ASIC miner. I think they're due to be released in October or something. For those of you who don't know, there's 2 different proofs of work for Grin. One originally for GPU mining, which is going to be slowly phased out in favor of the second proof of work, which is gradually becoming more prominent and important, which is specifically designed to be friendly for ASIC manufacturers. And the purpose of that is to basically, over time, gradually bootstrap a healthy ASIC ecosystem where there's many ASIC manufacturers that can compete with hardware. There's been a C++ implementation of both Node and a wallet called Grin++, done by a member of the community, David Burkett. There's another team that are doing the Iron Belly mobile wallet for Grin. I think right now it's available on iOS, and Android is coming. And a merchant processor, Nocturnally, I think if I pronounce it the right way, to handle merchant payments. There was also an announcement today by Bitmesh Exchange for a wallet that they built for Grin. I'm part of Vault 713. We're building our own wallet. It's used often in conjunction with the Grinbox open transaction protocol that we have, where users get a wallet address and they can communicate and build transactions together. So we have that as products that we've released to the public, and we're also working with mining pools and exchanges and custody providers to help them with transaction processing with Grin at scale, and also doing cold storage solutions. I'm also writing this weekly newsletter called Grin News, where I summarize the developments every week in the space. Feel free to sign up if you want to get updates. 2 shameless plugs in a row here, huh? But it's over now. So that's that. And now in terms of contributing, as HashMap said, just do it. Get involved. You don't need to ask for permission. The project is open source. You can start reading, find out more. We need basically all types of people, developers, people who are experienced in product, concept design, interaction design, UX, QA, marketing, web design, technical documentation writers, and also just a bunch of users and people to interact and test the software and kick the tires around a bit and critique the work that we're doing. So please get involved. It's a very friendly and welcoming community. I joined about a year ago, and it's the community that kind of keeps me around. It's a very nice environment to work in. You can also fund the project if you want. There's a funding page there. That's it. If you want to find out more about the project and some of the technical aspects of it, there's going to be some technical stuff around proof of work, I know, at least later today. You can head over to our Grin PM repo, and if you scroll down a bit, or you just use the hashtag there are presentations from both conferences in Berlin and in California earlier this year, where there's a lot of technical stuff and a lot more info that you can learn. There's also slides, etc., up there. So so you have an opportunity to learn more. That's it. Thank you very much. I think we're doing a question.